my perspective pretty much mirrors yours. The way I state it may sound a little bit different in regards to the caliber of these two teams as I see it, would be that I do think that there's not a substantial talent gap. I think that Ohio State has a decided edge. I'll call it that. I wouldn't call it an edge, even something in the middle. Where I think it's. I think anybody that watches football and knows the two programs and the two rosters and watches the games and pays attention can see that Ohio State's better. But we see who knows how many games every week in college football where the better team doesn't win. So I do think that if both teams play, much to what you just said, if both teams play an A+ game or a C+ game, Ohio State will win. Ohio State has to give them something, has to give Michigan something, I would think, for Michigan to win the game. But it's not a puncher's chance kind of miracle situation at all. Not even close to that. I think Michigan's got a very, very solid chance. I would be interested, any Michigan fans in the live chat, if you want to be honest about your confidence level. I would love to see you rate your confidence level going into this game.
That would be, yeah, that would be interesting. And I actually watched the Ohio State stream that you had on earlier today, and before we even got started, we kind of talked about it of seeing, just the way that the game has ended up the last 10, 15 years. It's gone Ohio State's way. I think it's what 17 out of the last 18 years is gone Ohio State's way, and the last couple have gotten worse and worse for Michigan, and even with that there's still some reservation from the guys on the Ohio State channel with the game, is that there's not the uber confidence to where they are just like, oh yeah, we're going to throttle them and we're going to blow them out, no big deal. There is still some reservation just because it's football, it's college football. I mean, we look at just week after week, like you had mentioned in our stream, I think a week or two ago, that you can almost just guarantee it that about 20 to 25% of the top 25 teams, there's going to be an upset. So that happens. It happens quite a bit, and even with some of the teams that do win, there it still is a closer game than you'd like. Like I go to the Kansas Oklahoma game. Like, Kansas had no business being that close with Oklahoma, but they did. And that's college football. And when it comes to really the elite programs, that's the challenge that you have as a head football coach, is making sure you have 18 to 22-year-olds mentally focused and dialed in, and not going back to really what's just human nature of, oh, we're ranked number 5 and they're unranked and have lost 5 games already. Oh, we got this in the bag, and it's very difficult thing to do. And that's why, with the elite coaches of, the Nick Saban and Ryan Day and Dabo Sweeney, that those guys deserve credit, because it's a really difficult thing to do, to have young men at that age consistently focused on what the immediate task at hand, and not having the fall off of the Oklahoma Kansas kind of battle, or the Purdue who seems to knock off every top 5 team that they play. So it's a very difficult thing to do, and you have that, and then on top of it also a rivalry game where absolutely anything can happen. It just adds more to the pot, to where you almost have no idea what's going to happen with anything. So it's interesting. I see blank name has a confidence level 20% chance of victory. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Oof. I don't know where I would be as far as that gauge. I would probably say I'd probably be closer to like 40%. Because I think, as like you said, it's not a puncher's chance. Like, you just need a couple things to go your way. Like, I think, like, if I said that the D line is going to get 3 sacks in the game, like, I don't think that's crazy and out of the realm with, Aiden and Ojabo and those guys. But you're probably going to need 1 to 2 turnovers, is kind of what I think if you're looking to win the game, and not that that's so difficult to do, but just Ohio State overall hasn't shown the tendency to turn the ball over a lot. So I think that's where it's going to be, a little difficult. But I think 97 and 55 are going to be the keys to Michigan getting a win. I think my thoughts on the game is going to be the the offense is going to be what it is. I would have loved, as I've hammered home and repeated again and again, that to really try to air it out earlier in the season to get more reps and get more snaps for Cade. Hasn't happened. Harbaugh's kind of stuck to his guns of the identity of this team. It's going to be a running. We're going to run the ball, ball control, time of possession. So that I would imagine that's what this game is going to look like from Michigan in an offensive perspective. But the defense is going to have to give the offense, I would say, at least 2 turnovers. And maybe it looks like instead of getting an interception, maybe you convert a couple 4th and 1s. But you're going to have to extend some drives and keep number 7, keep him on ice a little bit on the sidelines, because that's a lot of times with the teams that end up throwing the ball a lot, and the spread offenses is, ideally you'd like to get, if you're Michigan, get a long drive, run the ball, get in the end zone, and you have CJ Stroud sitting on the sideline so long that he kind of loses that rhythm. He comes out a quick 3 and out, you get the ball back, and really rinse and repeat. That's the ideal scenario. But I think even if the game did start that way, you only going to have so much time before he does get rolling. Because I just think with Ryan Day, I have the utmost respect of his play calling. He's phenomenal as a play caller, and it's only a matter of time before he figures out and starts to see what you want to do and is going to attack, and they're gonna hit some big plays. So it's inevitable. But if you can prolong that as long as possible, and like I said, it's going to be pretty chilly on Saturday. Hopefully number 7 gets a little chill under those shoulder pads, and he gets out of rhythm a little bit, and Michigan takes advantage.
Now, Venice here is a guy that people want to hang out with because Venice is an optimist. He's a glass half full guy. There's no doubt about that. His confidence is 8 out of 10.
That's high. That's high. But
That's high. I
he's
don't know
got the
what
right
that's based
numbers.
on, but it's high.
That is Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajabo. That's it's something. It's something. I think that those guys will be critical and be key on getting pressure on Stroud. Like if you're gonna let him sit back and just kind of hang out like he did last week against Michigan State, you're gonna give up 50 points in a half. That's how it's gonna work out. Hutchinson is a poor man's Joey Bosa. That's still a pretty rich man, just so we're clear. That's still a pretty rich man.
Absolutely. So